Will Abbots be able to free New York City from the clutches of the monsters? In the new film A Quiet Place Day 1, a prequel to the A Quiet Place series, this story is set on the first day of the alien invasion of New York City. A Quiet Place prequel has everyone thrilled. Ever since the release of the last chapter in John Krasinski and Emily Blunt's A Quiet Place movie franchise, there have been rumors about A Quiet Place Day 1. And now that the trailer has been released, the anticipation is excessively high. Aren't you excited? The first film in the horror franchise, A Quiet Place, which opens in 2018, centers on a family in a post-apocalyptic world where sound summons terrifying and vicious monsters. In the 2020 follow-up, A Quiet Place Part 2, the Abbott family was compelled to confront reality. A Quiet Place Day 1 is the precursor to the upcoming A Quiet Place 3. June 28, 2024 is the summer release date for A Quiet Place Day 1. Michael Sarnowski, who previously directed Nicolas Cage's drama Pig in 2021, is directing the story. A Quiet Place Day 1 has a tiny but impressive cast. Despite being set in the same universe as A Quiet Place, this movie will be very different from the others. The first day of the apocalyptic event is when A Quiet Place Day 1 is supposed to take place. This is the information one gets based on the recently released trailer. A brand new cast of people will be followed as they go through the early stages of the extraterrestrial invasion in this next movie. So, does the storyline have any connections with the previous two movies in the franchise? A Quiet Place Day 1 is turning the franchise on its head. Instead of following the Abbott family survival saga, this prequel plunges us into the terrifying world of the alien invasion's very first day. We've already glimpsed the terrifying initial attack in flashbacks from A Quiet Place Part 2, where a peaceful baseball game turns into a nightmarish spectacle as alien spacecraft rain from the sky. But Day 1 doesn't stop there. It's a heart-pounding dive into the raw, unfamiliar horror of those early apocalyptic hours, introducing us to survivors struggling with unimaginable terror, far removed from the familiar faces of the Abbott family. If you were an ardent fan of the previous Quiet Place films, you would have preferred Emily Blunt and John Krasinski to be in the new movie. However, it appears that they are not in line with the new film this time. The new film mostly centers on newly formed characters at the beginning of the alien invasion. So are the old characters smacking a return in the new movie? This isn't just a simple prequel. It's a whole new chapter in the terrifying alien invasion saga. Instead of sticking with the Abbott family, the spotlight's on Lupita Nyong'o's character, Sam. Picture this. Sam's a lone wolf, living the big city life with their trusty cat for company. When the aliens attack, they're thrown into survival mode. The teaser is super intense. No dialogue, just pure panic and chaos. It's clear Sam quickly figures out that silence is golden. Or rather, silent is golden when it comes to these noise-loving monsters. Can't wait to see how they navigate this deadly new world. So guess who's joining the chaos of A Quiet Place Day 1? None other than our beloved Eddie Munson, aka Joseph Quinn. It looks like he's trading in his mettle for survival skills as Eric, a brand new character. From the trailer, it can be told that Eric's world is turned upside down just like everyone else. He teams up with Sam, forming a pretty unexpected duo, it seems. And judging by his vibe, Eric might have been a suit and tie kind of guy before the aliens crashed the party. We also got Alex Wolff and Elian Umahiri joining the cast, but the trailer's keeping their roles pretty hush-hush. Can't wait to see how they fit into this terrifying puzzle. Jimin Hong-soo is the one thread that will securely bind A Quiet Place Day 1 to the other A Quiet Place films. The actor who played the man on the island in A Quiet Place Part 2 will play the same character in A Quiet Place Day 1. Many fans are divided on the thoughts about his fate, and are you one of them? In fact, Jimin Hong-soo's fate in the movie franchise will be sealed in the upcoming movie. Hong-soo's character was a total game changer when he showed up in A Quiet Place Part 2. As the leader of a diverse group of survivors, he was like a beacon of hope in that terrifying world. Setting up a whole settlement, that's serious survival skills. Plus, he figured out that those creepy creatures can swim, which is a huge deal for humanity. You'd think his calm and kind nature would make him a total blessing for the other characters, especially when he comes up right at the start. It makes losing him later on even more heartbreaking. And let's be real, after seeing how awesome Joseph Quinn was, his potential demise would be a total disaster too. So while Hong-soo's character is a rough person, his presence also casts a long shadow of sadness over the whole movie. As moviegoers and fans of the movie series, one thing you can be sure of is that no amount of stardom will decide the fate of the character. The movie is plot-driven and not stardom-driven. John Krasinski's character is a good reminder of that. If you are a fan of A Quiet Place released in 2018, then you must be knowing that the movie's central theme is a risky and desperate attempt to reach safety, as the trailer makes apparent. The sheer volume of meteors that fell from the sky proved that alien invaders chose New York because of its high population. It is doubly devastating that the man on the island survived the ordeals of day one, only for part 2 to underscore the ultimate futility of his quest. The Quiet Place film series has repeatedly demonstrated that it is not hesitant to murder important characters. Talents like Jimon Hong-soo and John Krasinski's demise have already shown that great talents are not safe when it comes to advancing the main plot. Even though it is already established that Hong-soo would survive A Quiet Place Day 1, his destiny in the follow-up looks to be terrible, even though he manages to survive. Ever imagine New York City in the heart of a terror attack? Yes, it's not a joke. This time in the new movie, the monsters invade the city of New York. Previously, A Quiet Place was set in upstate New York. It seems that makers are keen to terrorize the people of New York. It needs to be seen whether the people of New York will be terrified. The new movie has a New York City setting and a drastically altered plot. This is a significant and thrilling departure from the earlier films, which were mostly set in upstate New York, where the natural world is considerably more prominent. A Quiet Place Day 1, however, appears to include significantly more skyscrapers and city streets than its predecessors did, at least judging from the trailer. In the end, this will solidify A Quiet Place Day 1 status as a prequel spin-off by providing a noticeably distinct atmosphere for the movie. The fact that the new film location will introduce viewers to a completely new aspect of the brand is very fascinating. A Quiet Place Part 2 ventured further into upstate New York, whereas most of the first film was spent at the Abbott family's house. This film will thoroughly explore a new location. Viewers will be able to observe how the alien invasion affected populated areas and what happened to busy cities following the end of the world. There must be a lot of questions in the back of your mind. What occurred with the Abbott household? Do they still exist or are they dead? Given the upcoming release of a prequel, many fans believe that A Quiet Place and its characters are done with the franchise. Now, after listening to all these fan theories and all these random questions popping up in the back of the mind, well, you surely are confused. The story of survival in A Quiet Place is terrifying and intensely suspenseful. In spite of the jump scares and horrifying alien monsters, the movie is really about family, especially the Abbott family, who live in complete silence on a secluded plot of land. Yes, it's all about the Abbott family and they drive the movie forward. It should be noted that A Quiet Place franchise is not ending with the release of its prequel offshoot. Krasinski is releasing A Quiet Place Part 3, the third film of the trilogy, in 2025. There isn't much information available about this upcoming picture, given its long release date, but it is known that it will follow the Abbott family again and might even conclude their tale. It's impossible to predict if A Quiet Place Day 1 and other spin-offs will continue after this. Hope this news will keep our viewers excited and waiting for the spin-off's release in 2025. Do you believe that the fans are more eager for a sequel to A Quiet Place than a prequel? Do share your opinions on this in the comment section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye!